What's up, you guys? Frankie Edgar, Cub Swanson. It's a tough one to call. It's a tough one to call. I mean, if my memory serves me right, I believe they fought before, and I think Frankie Edgar mauled him. Just took him down and just grinded him out, for the whole fight. I think he actually got a stoppage, it's like a TKO or a cut stoppage or something along those lines, but I just remember he just dominated him. Took him down at will and just threw him in a meat grinder and just sliced him up, I could definitely see this fight going down that same line of travel, so to speak. But the real question here is, what is Frankie Edgar going to look like after being viciously knocked out by Brian Ortega? I mean, how long ago was that? I don't even think it was. It wasn't 2 months ago. And that's another thing I want to mention. It's disturbing the commission approved Frankie Edgar, to fight in this fight. I mean, the commission is there to look out for the fighters, I mean, a lot of these guys, they're fighters. They're warriors. They're gladiators. The commission is there to save these guys from themselves a lot of the times, because if you're a fighter, fighting is what you do, right? You see an opportunity to make some money, you get to go out there, compete. Of course, man. If you ask a fighter a month after he gets knocked out if he wants to fight again, he's going to say yes. They want to get that better taste out of their mouth. They want another paycheck. They're probably still pretty damn fit from their training camp, so why not? Yes, let's do it. Give me 4 weeks, I'll be ready. But that would still put you at 2 months, post-knockout. That's, like I said, man, I have a real issue with the commission approving Frankie Edgar to take this fight. I don't know how a guy can get knocked out like that and the commission approves it. Most guys, after they get knocked out, what is it? It's like a 6-month suspension or something like that. Or like at least 90 days. So like at least 3 months after a knockout, just for precautionary reasons, right? But for whatever reason, they approve Frankie Edgar for this fight. Now he's going to go out there. We don't know. What's like, in the head? Like what kind of brain trauma is he still dealing with? Is he still dealing with some of the effects of the Ortega knockout? We don't know. But something tells me that, less than 2 months after a serious knockout, your brain, isn't fully recovered. I'm not convinced his brain is fully recovered. And then how much sparring has he done? So how much has his brain been rattled since that fight in training camp? So, yeah, needless to say, I'm not thrilled about the fact that Frankie Edgar is even fighting, because for me as a fan, of course, it's about the entertainment. I love guys getting out there and getting after it, but I also think about the fighter's health, and I think about their well-being, and, I understand the fact that these guys have families, man. These guys have wives. They have kids. They have to think about life after fighting. They can't fight forever, so what is their quality of life going to be like after fighting? These are things I think about. I don't just view these guys as fighters, as entertainment, and it stops there. No, I think beyond that, because you have to, man. These guys, at the end of the day, these guys are warriors, they're gladiators, but they're human beings, They're human beings, and they're flesh and blood, So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't like that the commission approved Frankie Edgar for this fight. But for us fans, I guess it's good, right? Because that's going to be a hell of a fight. I mean, Cub Swanson always shows up fit, and he's always ready to go to war. So, yeah, man, this is going to be an exciting fight regardless. And I don't know. I think Frankie Edgar gets it done. I still think, despite the knockout loss, I still think he's right at the top. He's one of the few guys who's been fighting the cream of the crop, and he's been at the top of the mountain, fighting the best of the best, and competing, going toe-to-toe with these guys and hanging with all these guys every step of the way his whole career. I mean, he's one of the few guys who's been able to do it. And I don't think that recent knockout is a sign that he's declining or he's past his time. You know what I mean? He's like got this thing going for him where it seems like he's like been in his prime for like 10 years, you know, and that's unheard of, you know. A lot of fighters, I feel like, in their prime, they get a good 5 years. So this is prize fighting, man. This isn't going to an office. This isn't, you know, making a living doing IT or something. This is prize fighting, man. And your window of opportunity for performing at the optimum top of the top level is this, man. You know, your window of opportunity is small, man. So you need to really make the most of your best years. Frankie Edgar seems to be standing the test of time. Father Time hasn't seemed to catch up to him yet. So, you know, the guy's a rare exception. Man, and I just hope he's making a hell of a lot of money, because I truly believe he doesn't have a whole lot of fights left in the tank, and I'd like to see him walk away soon just because he's accomplished so much. The guy's fought the who's who in MMA. I mean, if you think about it, he's fought Sean Shirk way back in the day, Tyson Griffin, I remember when he first got in the UFC, fought those two guys. The multiple fights with Benson Henderson, you know, that didn't go his way, but arguably could have. And I'm one of these who believes that he's gotten ripped off in a lot of decisions. How about the wars with Gray Maynard, Jose Aldo? I mean, you name it. The guy's fought the who's who in MMA. I mean, what more does he have to prove? I mean, he's done it all. Frankie Edgar has done it all, you know. But yeah, at the end of the day, I see Frankie Edgar winning this fight against Cub Swanson. I just think Frankie's movement is too good. I think his wrestling's too good. And these two have tangled before. Yeah, it was a while ago, but I still think Frankie's got the blueprint. He's got the recipe on how to beat Cub Swanson. But don't think for a second that Cub Swanson won't make it a tough night. You know, he's gonna make Frankie earn every inch in there. And I think Cub Swanson is gonna have his moments in there. I really do. You know, I think Frankie's gonna be possibly in danger a few times in this fight. I think Cub's gonna be around for the long haul in this fight because, you know, the dude's in shape. He always comes fit. But yeah, ultimately I see Frankie Edgar getting it done, you guys. Let me know what you think.